Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Bloons Tower Defense 6. In this episode I had to do a little bit of editing because I attempted this map on hard with the alternate rounds, and I lost like twice because I wasn't using very good strategies. And I did actually confirm that, well, I'm pretty sure I confirmed that you cannot remove those obstacles, those buildings that are in the way for the line of sight. You can't actually do that on hard. Again, unless I'm doing something wrong or it's a bug or something, but I was not able to. So that's kind of interesting because, man, now I'm thinking about that one level that I'll probably get to like next week. That I don't even know how I'm going to be able to do it on hard without removing obstacles. But anyways, so I started off with a Ninja Monkey because obviously camo balloons are quite difficult right here in the beginning of the alternate rounds, which really is interesting. Like I feel like it changes up your strategy because obviously the camo comes up so much sooner than you would expect, but theoretically, I mean, what better to deal with camo balloons than a Ninja Monkey? So you're probably going to be getting that sooner rather than later anyways. But anyways, there's also the Monkey Apprentice, which does pop camo balloons. The Spike Factory, or the Tac Tower, Tac Tower is the Tac Shooter thing. Yeah, there's the Spike Factory. Would be good for camo balloons if it was cheaper. Generally, I tend not to use it very often because it is more expensive, so it's kind of difficult to start right near the beginning. And if you're already gonna have like a Ninja Monkey for camo detection, well, I was gonna say that doesn't. What was I gonna say? Just that you wouldn't want to use the Spike Factory if you already have camo detection. So that's not exactly accurate. The reason why I wouldn't want to use a Spike Factory is because if you put it near the end of the track, then yes, it's a nice safety net. But then that means all of those tacks that don't get used are kind of like wasted money, sort of. Because you're spending money on something that isn't actually popping the balloons. If you knew that you were going to be leaking balloons and that the Spike Factory was going to catch it, then yeah, that makes sense if it's, you know, constantly being used. But it's kind of a you're expecting to fail strategy, if that makes sense. And it would be pretty difficult to like calculate which balloons you're gonna lose, or like which ones are gonna get past your main defenses, in order to like make sure you're using it effectively. So it's kind of a strange tower to use in that sense. But if you place it closer to the beginning of the map, then you can use it to like actually take care of the balloons on a main, like as your main defense force or whatever. One thing that I noticed in there is the reason I put in the Alchemist right next to the Ninja Monkey is because I wanted it to buff the Ninja Monkey to allow it to pop camo balloons. I mean, to pop lead balloons. But specifically, I wanted it near the Ninja Monkey because it needed to pop camo lead. Because my hero Obin can already pop lead balloons. But the problem that I found was that the Alchemist obviously doesn't see the lead camo balloon, so it doesn't give the Ninja Monkey the ability to pop lead when it's dealing with a camo balloon, or a camo lead balloon, which is really interesting. I kind of wish that the Alchemist just buffed the monkey all the time, but I suppose I understand why that wouldn't work. I was also wondering if I did the acid pool, where he just throws a flask on the ground and it basically comes up like a spike trap, or like the Spike Factory, or like the Wall of Fire from the Monkey Apprentice. I wasn't sure if that was actually going to pop camo balloons, because it would make sense that it would pop lead balloons normally, that's fine, but I don't know if it gains camo detection. But anyway, I've got my Monkey Apprentice there with the Monkey Sense and the Wall of Fire, so lead camo balloons shouldn't be an issue, or at least not as much of an issue. And then of course it gets back to that situation where, do I want to use Shimmer and then, you know, have my only other main attack force be my Ninja Monkey, basically? I mean, yes, Obin is nice or whatever, but he's not like a priority. If I've already got 2 towers that can see camo balloons, I feel like Shimmer's not that high of a priority, so I don't think I gave it to him yet. Plus, it's right about to be round 40, so I actually, what I learned on my last attempt was that this first Moab is actually a fortified Moab, which makes it a little bit more difficult than a regular Moab, and that's why I had the Alchemist right there also give it the Perishing Potion, I believe it's called, so that it can either get rid of the fortified Moab status, or it just does extra damage to fortified Moabs or whatever, or fortified balloons in general. So that'll help me take down the Moab. My initial strategy was to use a monkey sub and give it the whole advanced intel and the guided missile thingamajiggy, but it obviously was not enough, which is why I lost on that round. It was kind of funny. But anyways, so now I've increased my Monkey Apprentice into Shimmer, because now the amount of money you get kind of ramps up a bit right there. And I was able to get the Monkey Necromancer, and thankfully those are not fortified Moabs at that point on round 44. They're just regular Moabs, so they weren't as big a deal as that first one. And now I'm building up my second Monkey Apprentice to be a anti-Moab monkey by doing the Moab Spike, or not Moab Spike, Arcane Spike, so that it can do extra damage to Moabs and just be awesome in general. I'm pretty sure it also just makes it better popping power. I don't think it only does the extra damage to Moab. I think it also does extra damage to Ceramic, but I don't remember if that was because of the Monkey Knowledge or in addition to the Monkey Knowledge, because there is a Monkey Knowledge that says the Arcane Spike does extra damage to Moab and Ceramic, but I'm pretty sure the Arcane Spike already does extra damage to Moab and Ceramic. So again, I don't know if that's additional damage or if it only says that now because I got that Monkey Knowledge. And I don't know, maybe I'm misreading it or something. Also, one random thing is when I first heard that you could only have one level 5 monkey or a level 5 upgrade, at first I thought that meant like in the entire map that you're playing there can only be one level 5. But apparently that's just whichever level 5 you upgrade, you can only get that specific upgrade once. So you can have all of your monkeys at level 5, but only if each monkey is unique, basically, and it's per upgrade path. So you could have like the Juggernaut level 5, the Sniper, or the Camo, Crossbow level 5, or the Plasma Monkey Club, or Fan Club, or whatever. So that kind of makes sense, and it makes them a little less overpowered, or I guess a little more overpowered, but I don't know, I mean, even when I'm playing on hard, and even occasionally on impossible, it almost seems like unattainable to get a level 5 monkey, unless it's like a dart monkey or a tack shooter or something. Like all of them that have like 60,000 cash price, or like the what's it called? Like the Dark Knight monkey level 5 is like 128 or 240 or I don't know, some really big number like that. And I can't imagine anyone being able to afford one of those unless they have like the maximum banana farm, best, most efficient strategy or something. It just boggles my mind to think that people can afford that. And I'm assuming it's more just like for free play and, you know, just to see how far you can get, and that's why you need the extra level 5. But to me, if I'm not, I don't really like free play, because then I don't really have a specific goal, and I get the whole point is just to get as far as you can or whatever. But I don't know, I kind of just prefer having a set round number to reach, because otherwise it's just going to take forever. There's just going to be more and more balloons, and there's less strategy to it and more just raw power, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I'm not really a big fan of like free play and Apocalypse and all that. Although I believe in this mode, or in this game, Apocalypse and Deflation end at like around 60 and 80 or so. So they actually have a goal, and then you can continue to free play if you want. But anyways, you may have noticed that I'm using a Spike Factory. That tower that I said I didn't want to use. I'm mostly using it because I need more experience to get the level 5 upgrades for the spike factory. And again, why would I want level 5 upgrades? I never get enough money to use them. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna be unlocking everything in this game and trying to 100% it and all that, I'm gonna need to get the level 5 upgrades. And who knows, maybe I'll like do a stream one day if I ever figure out how, and then like see how far I can get on free play or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm using the. I probably should have put it near the very end of the map, because the farther back near the end of the map it is, the more time it has to put down spikes, or in this case, the spike mines, and you know, be able to pop more balloons that way. Give it a stronger safety net, basically. But I don't know, it felt far enough back, considering I've already got Oben with those forest wall, or wall of trees, or whatever it's called, which is really useful. Sometimes I'm a little confused, because I could have sworn once or twice it ate a Moab class balloon, but then there's other times when they just go right through it, and I'm like, is this a bug? Is it not supposed to eat Moab class balloons? Like, I don't know, because it eats regular balloons fine, but it's strange. So I figured if I've already got one spike factory that's got the spiked mines, I mean obviously 2 would be helpful, but I'm going to build that second one into an anti-Moab spike factory, just in case any Moab class balloons make it that far. Then that anti-Moab spike will be a little bit more helpful for getting rid of them. And what else? I also bought another alchemist to do the unstable solution, or unstable concoction, or whatever it's called, so that when it afflicts the Moab, then they explode when they're burst, or when they're popped, or whatever. So that's cool. Again, I would still need to test whether or not that actually affects the ceramics inside. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to test that, but maybe one day I will. I don't know. That's pretty much all I can think of, because that's pretty much all I'm building. I'm pretty confident in the strength of my defenses, not including a spike factory, but the Bloon Jitsu Master with the alchemist to buff him and the other towers nearby. The monkey apprentice not only as the necromancer monkey, but also the anti-Moab monkey, and then just an anti-Moab alchemist, plus Oben. You know, he's there too. I don't know, I like it. I like that setup. Obviously, if I threw in some super monkeys, or more Bloon Jitsu Masters, or glaive ricochets, or something, like, there's always more you can add to it. But I mean, clearly it's a pretty strong defense. Especially with that forest of trees, or wall of trees, or whatever it is. And then, of course, having the spike factory there is just a nice little safety net. Plus, I kind of enjoy just throwing spikes all over the map. I can't remember exactly how the level 5 is going to be better than that. Like, I think it just covers the track even more with spikes, or like with even more spikes, or whatever. And I kind of understand the point of the third tier, or the third tree of spike factory upgrades, which I'm now upgrading. It's interesting that it allows you to to place the spikes in a specific spot, which is always something that I've wanted to do. It's just kind of an interesting idea, but I don't know, if you could like click where you want to do it, that would be nice. But I just like how the smart targeting is just like, oh, over on that one spot in particular, which I don't even know how that affects its popping power. Like, if it's somehow less efficient now that it's all on one spot or something. I don't know. But yeah, that 5th tier spike factory, like over 100,000 cash, and it's like, I was never able to get that much money for like a monkey temple unless I had double cash mode and like 7 banana farms or something. Like, I can't imagine having to do that here before round 80. It's crazy. But let's see. All those spikes all over the map. Great. It's fantastic. And again, like, I know that the wall of trees is really helpful for like soaking up a bunch of extra balloons or whatever, but not a lot gets past it. Like, obviously right there a lot got past it, and it was like, oh dang, like am I about to lose? But then it's like, bam, spike carpet. And then I still almost lost, kind of. And I have lost some lives. So I mean, I know I'm not no lives losing these or whatever. And this is definitely not Chimps mode. Chimps mode is so brutal. Crazy. I mean, I only tried it like once, but still. The idea of it is just mind-boggling. But anyways, now my all three of my spike factories are finally at tier 4. And yeah, round 77. Just a bunch of Moabs. See, in my opinion, well, you may have noticed that I haven't really been using the Ice Tower. Because the Arctic Wind kind of got nerfed a lot. And just the Ice Tower in general is not as useful as it used to be. Like, my whole strategy that I used to have of like Balloon Chipper, Arctic Frost, Glue Gunner, and maybe like Ring of Fire, Balloon Impact or whatever, like that whole combination is really not as useful. And of course here I am using an Ice Monkey, like I was just saying I don't usually do, because I'm going for the Cryo Cannon upgrade, which is a really interesting idea, but I have no idea how effective it is. Like, I would need to test it again, like all this other stuff, but I feel like it's just not that useful. And I'm just throwing in the Glue Gunner there because why not? I've got extra money and I feel confident. The way I think the Cryo Cannon works is it basically becomes a bomb tower. Like, it just shoots the ice at the balloons, and it says like the balloons that are frozen get sharp icicles on them that pop other balloons that walk into them or float into them or whatever. I'm like, sure, that sounds nice, but I don't see it happening. Like, it just looks like the balloons are frozen, but it doesn't look like they're getting popped or anything. So, I don't know, it's a bit strange to me. If you guys have any stories of using the ice cannon and you think it's great, please let me know. I would like to use it more if it is actually good. But at this point I'm not really sure. And especially if I'm doing this on the hard alternate rounds, I need stuff that can pop lead and camo and maybe fortified. And of course, as always, Moabs. But I don't know, like I do not have faith in the Ice Tower to do good work when I can just use a bunch of Monkey Apprentices and Ninja Monkeys or something, you know? Like, I feel like those are the two most powerful towers outside of course, like the Super Monkey. And here, right after I win, I don't know how quickly it transitions, I'm going to be doing like a little bit of a test for the Spike Factory, because I wanted to see how powerful that tier 5 was, and I had to speed up the footage by like, well, speed it up by 100% or speed it up to 200%, so that it would go faster, because Moabs move so slow and it's so ridiculous. So the music is going to be all sped up and stuff, just so you know. And I don't even know if the sound effects like are synced up correctly or whatever. And there again, I think I'm about to lose. I just carpet spike the whole spike carpet the map or whatever, and then voila, 2 times speed, which I don't know, it doesn't look that much faster to me. Maybe I just like sped up the audio and I didn't actually speed up the game or something. I don't know. So yeah, just a simple, let's see if it takes down a Moab, and oh, would you look at that, it destroys a Moab. That's nice to see. Then I just launched a couple BFBs, and those explosions are massive, and yet that DDT went right through, and I was really confused. I was like, what just happened? How did it get through? It only took me, it took me until I was looking at the recording afterward to realize DDTs have like the black balloon property, meaning they're resistant or immune to explosions. They're not immune to the explosions, because it did look like the DDT took damage, but they're definitely resistant to the explosions, which again took me forever to realize. But what's really interesting is that while those mines are just exploding on the map, they're dealing damage to the ZOMG, even though it's kind of far away. I mean, right there it's pretty close, but it's just interesting, the range on these mines. It's crazy. Even fortified ZOMG stood no chance. Like, it was dead before it even made it to the balloons, or to the mines. So then, of course, the BAD, the biggest, baddest balloon that they could make or whatever. I'm assuming it also has that resilience to explosions. I could be wrong, but I think it does. So that's why it's barely taking any damage, and then it's just gonna walk right through all of those mines and be mostly fine. I was gonna say completely fine, but you can see it's kind of breaking up a bit. So then I figure, if it's resistant to something, how about I give it the Monkey Intelligence Bureau, and then wouldn't you know it, that's how all those DDTs get destroyed. Then I realized, oh dang, I sent too many DDTs and I need to rebuild my defenses or whatever. And of course, this is why I put it on 2x speed, because it's taken forever to get over there. But then, does it make it? Does it break it? It does not. So that is one really big balloon. Like, that is crazy strong. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.